Two guys not related, yet somehow are given the same name. It's time for the Two Daves podcast, where we'll answer the age-old question, are two Daves better than one? And now, here's Dave and Dave.
That's right. It's the Two Daves podcast, and I'm Dave.
And I'm the other Dave, and this ain't tacos. In this episode, you're going to discover and say to yourself, I just made a huge mistake listening to this podcast. Hey, don't fight it. Just sit back and relax.
That's right. Calm down. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Hey, Dave, you like going to the dentist?
I like going to the dentist about as much as I like trimming my fingernails with a chainsaw.
Okay, so if you if you listened to an earlier podcast of ours, we talked about how much we love going to the doctors. Remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah. So they have stuff now at my dentist that, it's like Valium or something like that makes you feel very comfortable. So my suggestion to those that are listening again to this podcast, maybe go to your dentist, get a couple extra, and you'll really enjoy our podcast. Don't you think?
That would help. It couldn't hurt. We'll put it that way.
That's right.
It's time for the Two Daves Fact of the Day, sponsored by Ben & Jerry's. Ice cream flavor of the month, canceled wedding cake. That's right, cake batter ice cream with a non-refundable deposit.
Sounds expensive to me. Okay, here's the Two Daves Fact of the Day to make your life just a little bit better. Hippopotamuses produce pink milk.
Excellent.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Is that strawberry flavor or what?
Yeah, like Nestle Quick. And my question is it hippopotamuses or is it hippopotami?
You know what? I don't know.
Hey, if one of our listeners knows the burning answer to that question, let us know by commenting. Is it hippopotamuses or hippopotami?
Well, I have another burning question, Dave.
What's that?
Who's going to be the stupid person to try and get milk from a hippo?
That's true. That's true.
Oh, I would not want to be that one. Okay. Well, anyway, hey, it's like a sauna here in Iowa, Dave. I don't know about you, but
here in Kansas too.
I love it. I do love it because I can go inside and freeze in my air conditioning. But do you like the heat, Dave?
Oh, Dave, that's a complicated question. I know it seems like a simple question, but
yes,
I'll tell you what. Back in 1985, the winter of 1985, I was going to school in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and my car broke down in the middle of winter. And I took a mechanic with me who lived on our floor there in our dorms, and he was going with me to try to find the car. And it was like 20 below, and that was without wind chill. And then add the wind chill on there. It was snow blowing up underneath my pant legs. I said, I will never complain about the heat again. And 36 years later, I have not complained about the heat. Now, I will be honest with you, here in the last 2 or 3 years, it's kind of, I've had a bad experience with heat. And once you've had a bad experience with heat, it kind of bothers you for the rest of your life. But I haven't complained about the heat. I'll just put it this way. I won't complain when winter comes this year.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, speaking of the heat, Dave,
yes,
there are, weird and amazing things that only happen in the summer that Dave and I want to kind of share with you today. It's, believe it or not, we are informative, aren't we?
We are. I mean, if you tune into this podcast, you are going to learn something sometime in the hour that you're listening.
That's right. You might learn not to listen next time, but whatever it is. So anyway, I'll start. Okay, Dave?
Okay, start.
Okay. Did you know that the Eiffel Tower is taller in the heat in the summer?
I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you why. The Eiffel Tower gains about 6 inches in height during the warm summer months. That famous landmark that I've never been to is mainly constructed of metal, which expands in heat. So,
6 inches?
yeah. In
Wow.
addition, the top of the tower may shift away from the sun as much as 7 inches due to the thermal expansion on the side of the sun. So not only does it get longer, get taller, but it then begins to lean away from the sun.
Man. Huh.
You're speechless.
Well, I am. I'm trying to think. I was going to say 6 inches seems like a lot, but the Eiffel Tower is so tall. I don't know how tall it is, but I'm sure that 6 inches is, you can't even tell. And it probably when it sways, you can't even tell.
Have you ever been to the Eiffel Tower, Dave?
No, never been to France.
Have you ever been to Epcot?
I have never been to Epcot.
Epcot has a ride called Soarin'. Have you heard of that?
Nope.
You get in a machine thing, and it's kind of they take you supposedly around the world. I love it because it's really cool, but it gets you to go up above the Eiffel Tower. I'm telling you what, the Eiffel Tower is tall. So for that, yeah, it is. But that's kind of crazy. That only happens in the summertime.
Well, here's another thing about summer. You need to avoid the ER in July.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What's the story about this?
Well, don't panic if you end up in the emergency room this summer. But honestly, a report published in the Annals of Internal Medicine found that the most dangerous time to go to the hospital is in July, especially if it is a teaching hospital where new doctors are trained. Because July is the month that seasoned medical residents leave the hospital and the new med students arrive. And seriously, death rates increase between 8 to 24% in July.
Oh, man.
So my suggestion is if you get injured in the month of July, rub some dirt on it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bleed it out. You're fine.
Yeah. It's probably going to be more effective than going to the ER.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Interesting. How about all day, every day sun? So let me explain. The midnight sun, visible sun for 24 hours, is a natural phenomenon that occurs around the summer time each year and lasts for several weeks. Now, let me tell you where. In the northern lands, Canada, Iceland, Sweden, Finland, Norway, Russia, and Alaska all benefit from it. In Barrow, Alaska, for instance, the sun... Barrow?
Barrow,
Not Barrow?
Not Barrow. I grew up in Barrow.
You did?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
You know I didn't grow up in Alaska, you goof.
Okay, all right. In Barrow, Alaska, the sun doesn't set for 2.5 months.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie The Proposal?
I have.
Well, that takes place in Alaska, and they have to close their curtains at night.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I'd love to do that because they say I do have friends that have been up there that have golfed in the middle of the night.
Wow. Yeah.
And so that's kind of crazy. My son went on a missions trip up there.
Oh, yeah.
And he said it was pretty cool with the sun being up there. Now, the bad side of that is for 2.5 months, there's no sunlight at all.
Yeah, that's got to be very depressing.
Yeah.
You got to have that vitamin D.
Yes, for sure.
Well, here's another fact, Dave. Did you know that your chances of getting burned are greater in the summer?
That's burned.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, now say this again.
Your chances of getting burned are greater in the summer. I'm not talking about sunburned. Obviously, your chances of getting sunburned are greater in the summer. But, it doesn't matter if you're 10 or if you're 48.
Yep.
Waving a sparkler on the 4th of July is a time-honored tradition that we all love. I mean, I remember writing my name, as a kid with sparklers, but I still like to hold them today.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission Fireworks Information Center says that these sparklers can heat up to 2,000 degrees.
Oh, man.
That is enough to melt some metals and enough to melt your skin. In fact, in 2017, sparkler-related injuries sent 900 people to the emergency room.
In July, I bet you people died.
Yeah, they probably all died. So therefore, sparklers can be fatal.
July and sparklers just is not good.
It's a perfect storm.
Good. Now, Dave, I have another thing to say to you. How would you like to work for the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission Fireworks Information Center?
I wouldn't mind working for them. I just wouldn't want to answer the phone.
No, I would not.
Yeah.
Ring, ring. Hello.
Yes, this is Dave with the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission Fireworks Information Center. How may I direct your call?
Oh, rats! I got the wrong number. I was calling the hospital. Oh, okay. That's kind of funny. Well, hey, you know what? In this episode, we're going to talk about our great 50 states of America. We've had some serious episodes lately, and we kind of thought it would be fun to just kind of, we're calling this Getting Nerdy and Wordy about the 50 states.
I tell you what, I can get nerdy and wordy about the United States. I love to talk about this. Now, several weeks back, Dave, we had an episode called I've Been Everywhere, Man.
Yep.
I've Been Everywhere, Dave.
Yep.
And we talked about the states that we have been to. We haven't been to 50 states, but would you like to visit all 50?
I would. I really would.
Wouldn't it be fun to do a podcast from all 50 states?
I love it to be paid by our sponsors. That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Or paid for by our network.
Yes, by our network. Yes. I'm sure that will happen.
Yeah, yes.
Well,
all right. What do we have?
Well, okay. We're going to look at several, I don't want to say facts because that sounds boring, but several things that.
Okay. Several falsehoods.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're going to look at things that we think are true.
Yeah.
About these 50
it's just
states.
kind of some fun things about each state.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go ahead and look at this. And let's start by talking about, the top attractions by each state. Now, Dave, you and I both have a map. We have the info on here, but let's just kind of don't look at it, okay?
Don't look at it. Okay.
Let's kind of have fun. You and I will each pick out a state and ask the other Dave, if you can guess what the top attraction is, okay?
All right. Now, how am I supposed to do that if I can't look at the map?
Well, I'll do one map here.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll do
You're going to start.
Florida. What do you think Florida's top attraction is?
Florida? Oh, that's easy. We talk about it all the time. It's got to be Disney World.
That's correct.
By the way, my oldest daughter was showing pictures to her kids just today of our trip to Disney World. And Sam, who is 4 years old, he looks at it, he says, "That doesn't look like the real Mickey and Minnie Mouse. I think that's just somebody dressed up. They're fake."
Oh, well, smart 4-year-old right there.
Yeah. I said, I think what he's saying is it's a waste of time and money to go to Disney World. I agree with him.
Yeah, no, I love it. I was just there,
Yeah, I know.
So, no mask.
Because it was a week that ended in Saturday, so you were there.
That's right. That's true. That's true.
How about I'm going to do this? How about we were talking about Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
What is Alaska's top attraction?
I'm not looking. I'm trying to think. I don't know. My guess would be fishing.
No.
Tourism.
Well, I mean, obviously, tourists are going to go to an attraction. I mean, every state is going to be.
Oh, wait a second. It's one of the national parks up there, probably.
It's a national forest, the Tongass National Forest.
Okay. Okay.
Now, I've never heard of that. I'm just looking at it here on this. It's Musement is the name of the website. So,
Okay. Okay, my turn.
yeah.
You tell me, what's Arizona known for? What's their top attraction?
Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Election recount. No, let's see. Arizona. What is in Arizona other than absolute hellish heat?
Yeah.
Carlsbad National Caverns. That's not in Arizona.
No, it's the Grand Canyon National Park.
In Arizona?
Yes.
Really? Okay, I'm dumb.
Where have you been?
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Well, let's you know what? Let's do Kentucky.
Oh boy. Well, at one day I would have said tobacco because that was a huge thing.
Well, that was a product, but it wasn't an attraction. You don't just drive to Kentucky to see the tobacco.
No, I was just through Kentucky. Okay. So my guess would be the Kentucky Derby.
No, that's a good guess. But according to this website, the top attraction is on my bucket list, and that is the Ark Encounter.
Really?
Yeah.
The Ark Encounter?
Yep.
That's cool. That is becoming super popular.
It is.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised to hear it's the top attraction, but you're right. It's growing in popularity.
Why don't you tell some of our viewers what that really is?
Well, the Ark Encounter, someone has taken the dimensions of the Ark as they're given in the Bible and actually built a life-size replica of the Ark. And it includes in it museums on creation, I believe. And it's a very cool thing.
Yeah. He built it to scale.
What?
He built it to scale, correct?
Yeah, he built it to scale.
Yeah.
And for those who say that there's no way that Noah could have fit all those animals in the ark, you haven't seen the ark. Yeah, it's great.
I want to go. I really do.
Let's go together.
Okay, that'd be fun. Here's one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Minnesota.
Minnesota. The 10,000 Lakes.
Nope, Mall of America.
Oh, the Mall, of course, the Mall of America. Have you been there?
I have. Long time ago. Yes.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, I've been there a few times.
It was cool because at that time it had Charlie Brown.
Yes.
But I think it's like Nickelodeon now or something.
Yeah, it's like SpongeBob and Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Now you've been there, right? Several times?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you can't have all those girls and not go to a Mall of America.
Yeah, I know it. Well, let me see. Let's do, we may as well do New York. New York.
Statue of Liberty.
That's what I would have guessed. But according to this site, it says Central Park.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So how about, let me do, I have to think here. Okay. Let's do Georgia. I've been to this place. I've been to that place.
Well, we can't say it's the All-Star game.
Nope.
Georgia. Okay. Franklin Roosevelt's death site.
No.
Okay.
This will surprise you.
What?
They say it's Georgia's aquarium.
Aquarium, really? I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's in Atlanta. It's really cool.
Is it? You've been there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's real cool.
Well,
a couple more, then we'll kind of go through.
I gave you Alaska. How about Hawaii?
Well, okay. We've had this map, but I really haven't studied this map that much. But Hawaii, I'm thinking a couple of things. I'm thinking pineapple, or I'm thinking the Waikiki beach type stuff.
Well, I think you were hit on it when you were talking about pineapples. It's the Dole Plantation.
Okay, Dole Plantation. Yeah, that's big. That's big there. Okay, let me do one for you.
Yeah.
And that would be okay. Yeah. I'm searching, Dave. Okay, Oregon.
Oh, Oregon. I don't know. Trees. I don't know.
Have you been to Oregon, Dave?
I haven't.
I haven't either. So that's always big people, little people, big world. I don't know.
You know what?
Huh?
It's interesting that I would say that trees would be the top attraction because I live in Kansas where we have no trees.
Yeah, I know. That's
I'd
true.
go to Oregon to see a tree.
That's true. Well, it is the Oregon Zoo.
Oh, the Oregon. Well, you know what? The Oregon Zoo can't be any better than the Nebraska Zoo. And I see that that's Nebraska's top attraction. Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo and Aquarium. That is amazing.
I love Omaha Zoo.
Yeah, it's great.
It is. If you've never been there, that's voted. I don't know if it's in the top 5 of zoo.
It is.
And it is incredible. Did you know which one was for did you know that the Sedgwick County Zoo is for Kansas?
That's the Kansas attraction?
Yeah.
So,
I thought it would be the big ball of twine or something, you know?
Walker City, yeah. Yeah, you know what? I've lived in Kansas for almost 16 years now, and I've never been to the Sedgwick County Zoo.
It's nice. It is nice.
Is it?
It is nice, but I would think there'd be other things.
I would think so, like the Hutchinson Salt Mines.
That's cool.
Dodge City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Dodge City is really cool. Yeah.
What is? What's really
Dodge
cool?
City's really cool
Dodge
to go.
City?
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you one more. This is a state that I would always like to visit, but I have not yet. It's our northernmost state, except for Alaska, Maine.
Wow. There's a famous lighthouse up there. It's either that or it's there's some kind of huge park up there, national park. I don't know.
It is a national park. It's Acadia National Park.
Acadia. Yeah. We have people from Maine in our church.
Oh, really?
And I'm sure they've been there. I think isn't Acadia National Park, isn't that the park that covers the top part of Maine? Isn't that what that is?
I don't know.
I've not been to Maine.
I know Stephen King is from Maine. That's about all I can tell you.
Well, you know, Michigan is Henry Ford Museum. That would make sense.
Yes. Yep.
Well, I can name a couple other ones. Ohio, the top attraction for Ohio is Cedar Point Amusement Park.
Yes. Well, California Disneyland Park.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, Iowa is Adventureland Park. Now,
Adventureland Park.
It's done pretty well. Did you know Waterloo is getting a new theme park?
No, I did not know.
It's supposed to open up next. Yeah, it's a theme park, not amusement park.
Really?
So that, but a close second is Dyersville. The Field of Dreams is a close second. And the Mana Colonies used to be that about 10 years ago.
Oh, really? I love the Mana Colonies. Been there a long time ago.
Yeah. So, you know, most of these places, Dave, the top attractions are either historical places, museums, outdoor national parks, whatever, amusement park, theme park type things, zoos or aquariums. Some is entertainment stuff like Fremont Street Experience in Nevada. There's some other ones, the Ark Encounter, those kind of places. And then there's shopping centers and then monument or memorial places.
Right.
To me, that's why it's so fun to go through. You know, if you want to go look up Civil War places, I mean, that's fun to do. Gettysburg. I would think Gettysburg would be one of the biggest places in Pennsylvania.
But what is it, Hershey's?
Yeah, it's Hershey's.
Yeah. And you know what's growing in popularity in Pennsylvania is Scranton.
Oh, because of the office?
Yeah. I'm sure it's the opposite. It doesn't have anything to do with Joe Biden.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, but does it have Dunder Mifflin office there?
No, actually, that is in LA.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Now,
well, that's kind of cool.
We've talked about the attractions, the top attractions in every state, but let's talk about what every state is best known for. If you were to poll people across the whole 50 United States, what every state is best known for.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
do you want to do it the same way where we'll just pick a state and try to guess?
Let's just go through the states.
All right, let's go through.
Okay.
Well, let's start with Alabama.
Alabama.
Is best known. What do you think it's best known for?
Well, if you're a football fan, you're a Crimson Tide fan. So,
Yeah, college football.
yeah, all of my friends that are from Alabama, that's all they ever talk about. It makes me sick. So,
Yep.
okay. Alaska. What do you think, Dave?
What is Alaska best known for?
Yeah.
Well, just simply based on what we were talking about earlier, I'd say it would be the sun all the time.
Yeah, that's a good one. But at night, this one deals with the nighttime, the Northern Lights.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, the Northern Lights.
You know, have you ever seen the Northern Lights?
No.
I have not. Ever so often, they say you can catch a glimpse of it in Iowa, but it's once in a great while.
Huh.
I'd love to see the Northern Lights.
What about Arizona?
Right, Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else in Arizona.
Yeah, I'm dumb. I should.
No, I take that back. I've been to Arizona, and there's like a lot of Native American Indian reservations and places to see. Like, I can't remember which tribe lived in the mountain areas there, but that's really cool.
Is it the Hopi or Hopi?
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah. Okay. What do you think? Arkansas. And I'm going to say it's a person.
What?
It's a person.
It's a person. Oh, I was going to say Walmart.
No.
What? When I think of Arkansas, I think of Walmart.
Nope. You'll like this one.
It's a person?
Bill Clinton.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yes, that's great. Wonderful.
Yeah. Well,
all
okay.
Right. What about California?
A Disneyland.
Hollywood. Hollywood.
Well, Hollywood's been around way longer than
Disney, yeah.
Disney, yeah. Okay, Colorado.
The Rocky Mountains.
Well, you have to have the Rocky Mountains or the mountains to do this.
Oh, skiing.
That's correct.
Yeah,
that's correct.
What about Connecticut?
I'd say skiing as well.
In Connecticut?
Oh, that'd be Vermont. Connecticut. Something. Connecticut would be something that is like a presidential type thing.
Nope. Casinos. Casinos. What? Yeah.
That, you know what? That's a disgrace for a state to be known for.
I know. Would you hate that that's the thing that you're best known for?
Well, except if you're Nevada, I mean. Well,
yeah.
Nevada, yeah. We have a town in Iowa that's Nevada. It's just really weird, really weird. So, okay, yeah. All right, what about Delaware?
Is it a person?
No. It deals with persons.
It deals with persons?
Yep.
Okay, you got me.
I was a chaplain for them one summer.
You were a Oh, NASCAR?
Yes.
I guess I didn't realize that was from Delaware.
Well, I wasn't in Delaware, but yeah, that's Delaware is the home of Dover International Speedway and known for the Monster Mile. So yeah. Okay, Florida.
Oh no, now you're stomping on my feet. I'm supposed to guess. You're supposed to guess Florida.
Well, Florida's a no-brainer. Come on.
Is Disney?
Yeah, but to me, there's so much more in Florida than just Disney.
Yeah.
The Everglades.
Is
incredible.
The Gulf,
okay.
The Gulf. Yeah.
You do the Gulf. Awesome.
Okay, Georgia.
Jimmy Carter.
No person. Peaches.
Yeah, I've stopped. Our family stopped several times at Lane's Peaches, which is plantations, really cool, known for their peaches. And you can go to our grocery stores around, I'm sure around you as well, and there's Lane peaches there.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, it is. Okay, Hawaii.
Hawaii? Oh, surfing.
That is correct. That's right, dude. 10.
Yeah. What about Idaho?
Now I'm laughing because people who are not from the Midwest get Iowa and Idaho messed up all the time.
There are people in the Midwest who get Iowa and Idaho messed up.
I know.
And Ohio.
Iowa potatoes?
Yeah.
No. That's what Idaho's known for.
Yeah, that's right. Potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Illinois, besides crime and corruption.
Illinois, land of Lincoln.
Yeah, it should be, but it's actually deep dish pizza.
Oh, well, okay. Deep dish pizza is great, but I'm sorry. Illinois, in my mind, is best known for the land of Lincoln.
Have you ever ate at the original pizza? Is it Pizza Uno Pizzeria? The original one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's great. Yeah. Okay.
All right. How about Indiana?
Well, has to be Indianapolis 500.
That's exactly right. Now, I would disagree. I think it's former Vice President Dan Quayle.
I know. I know.
That's what I think of when I think
you.
of Indiana.
I should have said that just for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Also, former Vice President Mike Pence.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. Okay. Iowa.
Iowa? Oh, why didn't I not see that coming? Iowa. What is Iowa? Best cornfields.
Yep.
All right. Really?
Yeah. Which is, I mean, let's face it. Cornfields is like the mountains in other places. It's just, that's what I love it. I love the cornfields.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like the wheat fields in Kansas. And hint, Kansas is next, but it's not wheat fields. What do you think Kansas is best?
The wheat fields, though, look like the waves in the ocean.
Amber waves of grain.
Okay, so Kansas is next.
Yeah.
Interstate is the home of the interstate. Did you know that?
I did know that. That's Eisenhower. But no, come on. When you ever told me you're from Kansas, what would they say?
Wheat.
No. What did they say when you say you're from Kansas? They'd say,
sunflowers.
No. They'd say there's no place like home. It's the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
That's true. I think there's like 3 or 4 different Wizard of Oz museums in Kansas.
Yeah. And I don't like the Wizard of Oz. I don't like that movie. And I'll be honest with you, when I moved to Kansas, I had not even seen the movie. Yeah. And so everybody's trying to talk about the Wizard of Oz. I'm like, yeah.
No. Okay, Kentucky.
Oh, the Derby?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. I think maybe that's what I was getting confused with. Attractions or best known for.
That could be. What about Louisiana?
Well, New Orleans.
What in New Orleans specifically?
French Quarters?
No,
probably.
Mardi Gras.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, so that was Louisiana. We are at Maine.
Maine. Stephen King.
Maine could be 2 things.
Oh, okay.
What do you think?
I already told you what I thought.
Oh, lobster.
Oh, lobster. Yeah.
And then the lighthouses are really.
Oh, lighthouses. Yeah. All right. What about Maryland?
I'm not looking, Dave, by the way. So Maryland would be, what would Maryland be? I don't know. Rutgers?
Crabs.
What?
Yeah. You go to Maryland, you get crabs.
No, you don't. Is that what it is? Really?
That's what it says. Crab. I'm not telling you. Maryland sits on the Chesapeake Bay, and it's known across the country for its delicious blue crabs and crab cakes.
Oh, blue crabs.
Visitors flock to Maryland every year to get their fill of the delicacy and to attend the annual crab feast in Baltimore. Doesn't that sound good?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. Okay, Massachusetts.
Nantucket?
Nope. When you think of Boston, what do you think of? That's very
Boston.
popular from Boston.
Oh, the Tea Party. I don't know.
Dunkin'
No, I
Donuts.
don't. What?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts. All right. What about Michigan?
Michigan would be known for Detroit cars.
Yeah.
Ford.
Yeah, the auto industry. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Minnesota.
Mall of America.
Yep.
Okay. Some of these are a little overlap, aren't they?
You know what though? It's like, let's face it, when most people think about great fishing and camping up there and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. What about Mississippi?
Mississippi. I would
Not racism.
no. Mississippi. Tupelo, Mississippi. Elvis Presley's birthplace.
No, the Mississippi River.
Oh, okay. Okay. Even though where did the Mississippi begin?
The Mississippi begins in Minnesota.
And they say you can just step over it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Missouri.
Missouri, the arch. The arch.
Nope. Budweiser.
What?
Yeah, I know.
I do not think of Budweiser when I think of Missouri. I think of the Archway.
Yeah.
What do they call that?
The
arch.
golden arches of McDonald's.
No, yeah, that's it.
You're not talking about that?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
They are, the
Gateway to the west.
Yeah. Gateway Arch.
Okay.
All right, what about Montana?
Montana is I would say animals, bears.
Cowboys. I know you thought that they were in Dallas, but they're in Montana.
No. Have you seen the Cowboys play in Dallas? They're not very
That's
good.
why they're not doing so well. They
All right.
show up for Dallas for training, and they go to Montana.
Okay, Nebraska.
Oh, Nebraska. What's Nebraska known for? Vast nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Cattle.
Cal. Okay.
Yeah. This is exciting, right?
It is. What about Nevada?
Las Vegas, of course.
Yep, you're right.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Maple syrup?
It should be. It's fall. Everybody goes to New Hampshire for the fall.
Oh, yeah, the foliage. Yeah. What about New Mexico?
Los Alamos.
Yep, very good.
Have you been there?
No.
Oh, you haven't? I've been there.
Okay, you got one for me?
I just said I've been there.
Good. You have a state for me?
No, I do. New York.
New York. Let's see. I'm not going to say Central Park. Statue of Liberty.
Broadway.
Oh, Broadway. Okay. Well, unfortunately, Broadway is still dark, isn't it?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
What about New Jersey?
Everyone that's been buried by the mafia in cement would be my guess.
That's absolutely right. No,
Okay.
actually, it's diners.
All right.
Diners.
North Carolina should be a no-brainer.
North Carolina?
Yeah.
Andy Griffith?
Well, that's a good one.
I don't know.
It's the Wright brothers.
Oh, the Wright brothers. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about North Dakota?
The Wrong Sisters.
No, ranches.
It should be oil.
It should be, but it's ranches.
Okay. Ohio.
Ohio. Oh, isn't there a Hall of Fame in Ohio? It's
Yes.
not baseball.
Football Hall of Fame.
Football Hall of Fame.
Yep. No, it's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, Rock and Roll. Is
Mhm.
Football Hall of Fame there too?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. What about Oklahoma?
Well, musical.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's tornadoes. I would have guessed that Kansas would probably be known more for tornadoes, but it's Oklahoma.
That's weird. Oregon.
Oregon? What were we talking about? Oregon earlier?
Big people,
I don't
little
know.
people, big world. Some craft beers.
Oh, craft beer. Oh,
Who cares?
What about Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania is the Independence Hall.
Well, you're very close. It's the Liberty Bell itself.
Have you ever seen the Liberty Bell?
I have not.
I have.
Been to Philadelphia.
1976, the Liberty Bell, I believe, took a ride on a semi through the United States.
Oh, really?
It was being refurbished, I guess.
Huh.
I think that's the story.
Okay.
Rhode Island.
Providence.
Coffee milk.
Coffee milk? Okay. Not sure what that is, but how about South Carolina?
Turtles.
Beaches.
South Dakota.
Oh, Mount Rushmore.
What else is there, right?
Exactly. What about Tennessee?
Oh, Nashville, the music. Nashville.
Yeah, country music. Yep.
Okay. How about Utah? Or am I missing one?
You're missing Texas, I believe.
Well, you do that one because I don't have it on my paper.
All right, Texas. What do you think, Texas?
The Dallas Cowboys.
No, barbecue. And I'm telling you what, there's some good barbecue in Texas.
Oh, I bet. Utah?
Mormons?
No.
That's what I think of when I think of
polygamy,
Utah.
Right? Yeah, no. National parks.
Oh, okay. National park. All right. What about Vermont?
Skiing.
No, that's your maple syrup.
Oh, okay. Virginia.
Virginia?
Mm-hmm.
The home of the presidents. More presidents come from Virginia than any of them.
Oh, you're close. Jamestown.
Oh, Jamestown. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what about Washington?
White House.
No, Washington State.
Oh. I don't know. Rioting? I don't know.
You're a Starbucks fan, aren't you? Coffee.
No, Starbucks, duh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. West Virginia.
West Virginia. Country roads take me home.
Mm-hmm.
The song?
Nope. Scenic roads.
Oh, really? Seriously? Yeah. The scenic country road? Oh, very good.
I don't, you know what? We have people from West Virginia and great people, but you drive in West Virginia and it is terrible. I mean, you're curves and all kind of, makes me want to throw up. Beautiful. Yeah. It's beautiful there, but I don't like driving in it. Your turn.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Yes.
All right. Wisconsin. This is an easy one.
Well, yeah, because dairy capital of the world. So dairy, dairy products.
Cheese.
Okay.
Cheese.
All right.
Yep.
Wyoming.
Well, I was going to say ranches, but that's North Dakota. Wyoming. Oh, Yellowstone Park.
Mountains.
Mountains. Oh, okay. Okay.
Mountains.
Really, when I think of Wyoming, I don't think mountains. Huh.
I think of cowboys when it comes to.
Yeah.
I mean, the school, for the university mascots, cowboys.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I get Texas cowboys and stuff, but I think Wyoming's huge for cowboys, rodeos and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
All right. Now we're looking at the most popular fast food places. Okay. And if you look at our map,
I don't understand it, to be honest with you.
There's one very dominant chain. Do you see that?
Yeah, and it surprises me, but it's Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, and it's in, let's see, how many states is that in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 23 states, Chick-fil-A is the most popular fast food.
Yeah, and Kansas is not one of them. Neither is Iowa.
Okay, so what does Kansas have?
Well, I don't know. The colors are a little mixed up to me.
Jack in the Box?
I don't know if it's Jack in the Box or White Castle.
Oh,
White Castle started in Kansas, so it must be White Castle.
okay. In Iowa, it looks like it's Wendy's.
Yeah, Wendy's.
Nah. Okay. Now the next biggest one would be McDonald's, which is
obviously McDonald's. Matter of fact, I'm surprised McDonald's isn't the biggest, but Chick-fil-A has really grown past McDonald's.
okay. So there's 12 states that it's McDonald's. Okay. And then I believe Sonic is one, and that's in Montana.
They can keep it.
Now, isn't the home of Sonic in Kansas or Missouri?
I wish I could tell you.
I thought it was Kansas City.
I don't know.
Maybe if you know, listeners, write it down for us in the comments.
Please comment. Let us know.
It would be great. Okay. And then there's one that is Taco Bell. And I always think if I eat Taco Bell, I better run for the border as quick as I can because that food is, but it's Vermont.
Do you know what?
Huh.
Sonic started in Shawnee, Oklahoma.
Huh.
Okay.
That's weird. Okay. What else is there? Carl's Jr., which is Hardee's.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Wyoming. And then Panda Express is in 3.
Huh.
You've ate at a Panda Express?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure I have.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's more than 3. It's 5.
Okay.
5. I mean, Hawaii is Panda Express. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Connecticut, New Jersey, Minnesota, and Oregon. And then In-N-Out. I've never ate at an In-N-Out. Have you?
Yes, I have.
Is it like White Castle's?
No, it's more like Whataburger.
I've never had a. Now, Whataburger, yes, I have, from Texas. I think those are from Texas, right?
Texas, yeah. In-N-Out is
so,
more further west.
Okay, so In-N-Out is like California, Nevada, Utah, and Arizona.
And I would tell you that if my daughter and her husband are listening right now, they're probably going to be offended at what I said about In-N-Out and Whataburger being alike, because Texans do not like to compare Whataburger with In-N-Out burgers. They're kind of almost, I don't know, catty about it. So
really,
yeah.
So they're rival restaurants, huh? Fast food.
Yes, I don't know.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Sorry, Amy and Marcus.
Don't look, but what is Florida? What's the number one food there in Florida?
Long John Silver.
No, there's no Long John Silvers. It's Chick-fil-A.
Oh, Chick-fil-A. Okay.
So reason why I asked that is because when we were traveling through Florida, you know, there's these blue signs along the interstate, and it says, you know, what kind of restaurant is available at this exit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Get lodging, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I noticed something. There's a Starbucks and there's a Chick-fil-A almost like everywhere you go.
Really? In Texas? Or in Florida,
In Florida. It's crazy.
Well, hey, let's do this. A famous invention from each state.
Oh, this will be interesting.
Yeah. So Alaska, the kayak.
The kayak, okay.
Yeah. It was
invented
by the Inuits. It was invented by the Inuits, indigenous Alaskans. So what do you got?
Arizona is sound cinema.
No.
It's
that's Arkansas.
Arkansas. AZ would be Arizona. Arkansas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arkansas, sound cinema.
Yeah.
That's right. Alabama, the electric hearing aid, invented in 1895.
1895.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Arizona now.
What was invented in Arizona?
The taser.
Ooh, the taser.
1993. And it was
California.
invented by NASA scientists.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, in California, I'm sure most people know that the iPhone came out of California by Steve Jobs and Apple engineers in the middle 2000s.
That's correct. Okay. And if you would go to Epcot, Dave, and go on the ride Spaceship Earth, there's a part where you see Steve Jobs in his garage inventing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. I'm going to pass one of those and go on to Connecticut. Colorado is female hygiene junk. So, okay.
You know what? That's important, though.
It is important. I'm just not going to talk about
it. It was invented in 1929. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes, it was. Okay. It's not junk. I'm saying it's feminine stuff, but I'm not going to talk about it. Okay. Connecticut is vulcanized rubber.
Ah, yes.
So that was huge for making the modern day tire.
Yes. Washington, D.C., of course, is not a state yet, but Washington, D.C. is known for its invention of the telegraph and the Morse code by Samuel Morse in 1844.
And they have people in Congress and in the House that probably still use it today.
Probably.
Okay. In Delaware, it looks like Kevlar. Now, that's material that's used for like body armor. So
yeah, it's like bulletproof vests.
Yeah. Invented in 1965.
Okay. Well, in Florida was the home of the personal computer. Invented by Don Estridge and the IBM team in 1981.
In Georgia is the cotton gin.
Of course.
It's used to separate cotton fiber from seeds.
Yeah.
Very important.
Well, Hawaii is the home of the surfboard, of course, invented by Joseph Banks. But get this, 1769.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Can you imagine surfing with your powdered wig?
Yeah. Okay. The tractor was invented in Iowa.
Surprise.
Yeah. 1892.
1892. Well, in Idaho, that's where we find the television getting its start, invented by Philo Taylor Farnsworth in 1927.
Now, I have a question here.
Okay.
We have the iPhone. Okay. Oh, duh. I get it. Before the iPhone was just your regular cell phone, right?
Yeah, there's a cell phone long before the iPhone.
Yeah.
This is before your smartphones.
This was 1973, and it was known as the Brick. The first cell phone was 2.5 pounds and 10 inches long. It was in Illinois.
Yeah. Well, Indiana was the home of the gas pump, invented by Sylvanus Bowser in 1885.
That goes with their state motto: come to Indiana and get gas. Okay. Kansas.
Yes.
The helicopter.
Did you know that?
I did not.
Neither did I.
That's 1909.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Kentucky would be the gas mask, invented by Garrett Morgan in 1914.
That's interesting.
I also heard that the Kentucky was the home of the toothbrush, because if it was invented anywhere else, it'd be the teeth brush.
Oh, that is an original joke by the other Dave. Okay, the binocular or whatever microscope. Louisiana. I about said Los Angeles there, but no.
Okay. Well, Massachusetts is the home of the World Wide Web, and we all know it was invented by Al Gore. No, actually, it was invented by MIT professors in 1990.
Yes, and I think President George Bush used the internets quite a bit, didn't he? On the World Wide Web.
Internets, yes.
Okay. Latex medical gloves was introduced in Maryland.
Okay. Well, Maine was the first time that anyone used a dive suit. invented by Leonard Norcross in 1834.
Okay, this one, Michigan. I kind of laugh at this. The assembly line was invented in Michigan. How do you invent this? Okay, never mind.
Well, the process.
I got it.
Who invented it?
Ransom odds.
Olds, isn't it?
Olds. Oh, yeah.
Olds
I'm having a hard time with my eyesight today, so.
Well, the implantable pacemaker was introduced in Minnesota, invented by Earl somebody. Now I'm having problems with my eyes, but it was
Acton.
Was it? Okay, in 1957.
Well, I wonder where the unimplantable pacemaker was made.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been invented yet. There you go.
Oh, okay. All right. The vacuum cleaner was first known as the pneumatic carpet renovator.
Pneumatic carpet renovator.
Yeah.
That's a stretch.
That's Missouri.
Missouri, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nystatin was introduced in Mississippi. Do you have any idea what that is?
I've heard of it.
It's an antifungal medication known as one of the most effective medicines, and it was invented in 1950.
Wow. Well, the heart monitor was in, where was that at? I'm trying to have a hard time here.
Montana.
In Montana, yeah, thank you. In 1962.
Well, and we already discussed this, but the airplane was invented in North Carolina by the Wright brothers in 1903.
Now, here's a good one that you might not know. The cream of wheat. It was invented in North Dakota. And
another reason to stay out of North Dakota.
1893. Now, listen to this. It was distributed at the 1893 World's Fair in Chicago.
And people actually had to pay a ticket for that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, the ski lift was invented in Nebraska, believe it or not.
That's so weird.
Yeah, in Nebraska. You'd think that it would be invented like in a place where there's actual skiing. But it was invented in Nebraska in 1936.
Yeah. Well, you think Iowa's a flat state. Nebraska is flat.
Oh, my goodness. It goes on forever. No offense to our Nebraska listeners, but I think I would rather trim my fingernails with a chainsaw than take a trip through Nebraska. But anyway, New Hampshire is the home of the Farmer's Almanac. It was invented in 1792, but this is everyone's favorite, the air conditioner. Air conditioning was invented in New Jersey by Haviland Carrier. Perhaps you've seen the Carrier brand. Well, Haviland Carrier invented air conditioning in 1921 in New Jersey.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
The atom bomb, New Mexico. Did you know that?
Yeah. Chuck. Well, blue jeans were invented in Nevada by Jacob David and Levi Strauss in 1873. But here's an interesting one. The credit card was first introduced in New York. I know that is not a surprise to anybody. That was in 1949 that the credit card was invented in New York. And Ohio brought us the automobile by John Lambert in 1891. And right on the heels of the automobile was the parking meter, introduced in Oklahoma in 1935. The computer mouse was invented in Oregon in 1968. And then the fire hydrant by Frederick Graff was invented in Pennsylvania in 1801. People haven't known where to park since. Diners, we talked about diners earlier in New Jersey, but the diner was actually invented, Dave, in Rhode Island by Walter Scott in 1872.
It makes me hungry right now, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I've been hogging a lot of these. Go ahead.
That's all right. The military submarine. Now, why do we have to put military before submarine?
Yeah, it's to distinguish it from the people who own private submarines. There are yachts and then there are submarines.
Yeah. Well, South Carolina, it was invented in 1863.
All right. Well,
Then
the
you go to
cyclotron was invented in South Dakota. Do you know what the cyclotron is?
I'm trying to think what that is.
Well, it's an
No.
early form of the particle accelerator, dummy. What's a particle accelerator? I need to watch more.
Is that the splitting of atoms or
I need
what?
to watch more of the Big Bang Theory, I guess.
I know.
And it was invented by Ernest Lawrence in 1932.
Okay, the supermarket was invented in Tennessee. Yes.
I know what that is.
I do too. Yeah, I do too. I do too. All right, 1916 is the supermarket.
And where was it invented?
Tennessee.
Well, the electric typewriter came about in Texas. That's probably why there's that brand Texas Instruments.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
By James Field Smathers in 1912.
The electric traffic light was invented in Utah in 1912, and people drove through the electric traffic light in 1912, 2 days later after it came out.
Well, camouflage all came about in the state of Virginia by Jim Crumley in 1978, and no one's been able to see anybody in Virginia since.
I couldn't hear that either. What'd you say?
I said no one's been able to see anybody in Virginia since.
Okay. The paddle wheel steamer.
Oh.
Poor Vermont, they didn't get anything very good. So the paddle wheel steamer, it's steam-driven paddle boat, famous for the Mississippi or on the Missouri River. Okay, I know that.
Yeah. Well, Microsoft Windows was invented in Washington by Paul Allen and, of course, Bill Gates. Don't know if you've ever heard of Bill Gates, but that was invented in 1975.
The spacesuit was invented in Wisconsin in 1950s. And I'm looking at this. It says not the first vacuum sealed suit, but first with link to space.
Well, if it didn't have a link to space, why would it be called a spacesuit?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, West Virginia is the home of the steamboat invented by James Rumsey in 1787.
And then Wyoming is known for its great invention of the shovel handle.
Right.
Go team, go.
Go team, go.
Oh boy. All right. Well, we're going through some of these fictional characters from every state. I think this will be fun. Fictional characters.
All right.
Now, if you've fallen asleep, now's the time to stand up, let the blood flow through your brain, and just finish strong with us here as we continue our nerdy and wordy look at the 50 states. Okay, Dave.
I'll take the Northwest states.
Okay.
Alaska is the home of Chilly Willy. Washington has Fraser Crane. Oregon has Ramona Gumby. Idaho has Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, my lips hurt real bad.
Montana has Ellie Sattler. And Wyoming has Yogi Bear.
Okay, so I'll take
the Southwest states.
Okay, so Marty McFly is California. Bobby Munson, isn't that the Kingpin or one of those bowling movies?
Big Lebowski.
Yeah. Wile E. Coyote. Where's that at?
Utah.
Oh yeah, duh. And then John Rambo is Arizona.
Yeah.
New Mexico is Walter White, which I think that's badminton or what's it called? Mad Men.
Yeah.
Right. Breaking Bad. Okay. Yeah. I don't watch it, and then Eric Cartman, which looks like from South Park.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Colorado.
Take the upper Midwest.
Well, give us Hawaii.
Oh, Hawaii? Gilligan, of course.
Gilligan, that's right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the upper Midwest, North Dakota is the home of Jay Gatsby. South Dakota, Desmond Miles. Nebraska, the Wizard of Oz. Minnesota, Charlie Brown. Iowa, James T. Kirk. Birthplace
of James T. Kirk.
Yeah. And also Radar O'Reilly.
Yes. Yes.
Wisconsin, Michael Kelso, and then Illinois, Ferris Bueller,
Bueller.
Indiana, Garfield, and Wisconsin. Oh, sorry, I said Wisconsin. Michigan is RoboCop.
Okay. Then let's see. Did you do Nebraska?
Yeah, I did Nebraska.
I'll do Kansas is Dorothy Gale, of course, from Wizard of Oz. Missouri, Tom Sawyer. Let's look at Kentucky, Rick Grimes. Who's that?
Don't know.
Don't know. Hannah Montana from Tennessee. Arkansas, Thelma and Louise. Doonesbury is Oklahoma. Beavis and Butthead, Texas. And I'll do that. I'll stop there.
Do Louisiana.
Louisiana is Medea.
Oh yeah, Medea. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll do the upper northeast then. If I can see these.
Oh man,
Maine
I know.
is Paul Bunyan.
Mm-hmm.
New Hampshire is Mr. Deeds. Vermont is Jack Torrance, from The Shining.
Yep.
Massachusetts, Norm Peterson. Connecticut, Beetlejuice. Rhode Island, Peter Griffin. New York, Barbie. New Jersey, Indiana Jones. Isn't that interesting? Indiana Jones is from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, Rocky Balboa. And Delaware, Tyler Durden.
Okay, I guess it's my turn to go, right? And
I
try and name
should say I didn't do Ohio. Ohio is Freddy Krueger. All right, you take the rest.
Oh boy. Okay. Where am I starting at? Where do you want me to start at?
West Virginia.
Okay. West Virginia is yeah. Give me a second here. West Virginia. Yes, there it is. West Virginia would be Aunt B. Now I'm thinking that'd be Andy Griffith, but it's Aunt B. Okay, and then we're going to Virginia, which is I don't even know these people. Clarice
Starling from The Silence of the Lambs.
Okay, don't know that. From North Carolina is Barney Fife.
Yep.
From where are we at now? South Carolina is Frank Underwood. Am I correct there?
Yep.
From New Jersey. Did you do New Jersey?
I did New Jersey. We need Maryland.
Maryland. Maryland would be what's it called? Tyler.
Jack.
Oh, Jack Ryan. There's all those lines to there. I don't see where they're going to. Okay. Where else are Murphy Brown? Did you do Murphy Brown?
Yeah, DC.
We're doing good on this, right? I'm great at this. I think we're at Mississippi is Rogue. Forrest Gump is in Alabama. In Georgia is Daisy Duke. In Ace Ventura in Florida.
Yeah.
I think that's it, right?
Yeah, we got him. And then, the 22 states have produced the 23 states have produced the 46 presidents of the United. No, 22 states, I'm sorry, have produced the 45 presidents of the United States. I know that Joe Biden is number 46, but Grover Cleveland was 22 and 24. So there have only been 45 presidents.
Correct.
Half of the presidents came from 4 states: Virginia, Ohio, New York, and Massachusetts.
Now, wait a second. What about Roosevelt? Teddy Roosevelt, wasn't he in 2 different times as well?
No. Theodore Roosevelt was president in the first part of the 20th century, and then Franklin Roosevelt, his nephew, his cousin was later on.
Okay. All right. Got it.
But they're both from New York. 8 presidents are from Virginia, 7 are from Ohio, 5 from New York, and 4 from Massachusetts. So, yeah.
Maybe the most famous one from Virginia would be George Washington, right?
Well, I mentioned earlier, I thought that might be what Virginia was known best for, because it's the home of Washington, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, William Harrison, John Tyler, Zachary Taylor, and Woodrow Wilson.
Okay, so you're the presidential buff. Okay,
Sure.
you tell me who's the most famous one out of Ohio. You think?
Out of Ohio? Oh, I'd say Grant.
Okay, Ulysses S. Grant. Who's the least favorite?
Well, the least favorite, probably Warren Harding. Yeah.
Okay, New York.
New York, probably the most, well, I was going to say the most popular one historically would be the Roosevelts, Theodore and Franklin, but more modern, Donald Trump, certainly a popular president from New York. And then
Right.
the other two would be Martin Van Buren and Millard Fillmore, who most people have never heard of.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Massachusetts. John Adams was a very popular.
John and his son, John Quincy.
Yeah.
But of course, John F. Kennedy was from Massachusetts, as was the older Bush.
Yeah. Now, I'm reading somewhere, there's the lineage of John Adams is a lady that she's married to some Hollywood person. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Not a clue.
Okay. Never mind.
Okay.
Okay.
North Carolina has James Polk and Andrew Johnson. Texas, Eisenhower and Lyndon Johnson.
Yeah.
Yep. Vermont, Chester Arthur and Calvin Coolidge. And then all these states that have one. South Carolina is Jackson, New Hampshire is Pierce, Pennsylvania, Buchanan, Kentucky, of course, Lincoln, New Jersey, Cleveland, Iowa, Herbert Hoover, Missouri, Harry Truman, California, Richard Nixon, Nebraska, Gerald Ford, Georgia, Jimmy Carter, Illinois, Ronald Reagan, Arkansas, Bill Clinton, Connecticut, George W. Bush, and Hawaii, Barack Obama.
Now, sometimes we get a little confused with some of this because people would say, well, Dwight Eisenhower was from Kansas, but he was born in Kansas.
That's right. These are the states where they were born.
Yes.
Likewise, we know Illinois as being the land of Lincoln, but he was born in Kentucky. So
that's right. And I think of Barack Obama, which he's from Illinois. Well,
he was born in Hawaii.
Yeah, correct.
Well, Mr. Trump lives in Florida, but he's from New York. Yep.
Interesting. And I guess let's finish off with this, Dave. Just a few of these things. We'll pick and choose some funny ones here. What each state has more of per capita than any other. And I found this to be kind of interesting. Did you?
Yeah. Go ahead and share with some.
So Iowa is lost chickens.
Chickens. How do you lose a chicken?
I don't know. Crossing the street, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's the other one? Property crime is Washington, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Washington State.
Selling cigarettes to children is Oregon. Most per capita.
See if you can guess this. What has the most UFO sightings?
Oh, that has to be Arizona. No, New Mexico.
It is Arizona. I would have guessed New Mexico.
Yeah. Oh, that's Arizona. Weird. That's weird.
Nevada has New Mexico has the highest mental illness.
Where do you think has the most mega churches?
Most mega churches? California?
Nope.
Oh, nope.
No.
I don't know.
It looks like
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Well, Louisiana has the most people in prison. Most shark attacks? Nebraska. No, I'm just kidding. It's Florida.
Okay, well, there's some of those. There were some interesting ones there. Boating accidents and people who tip most. Meth lab incidents is Missouri. That's nice to know. And on it goes. Yeah. And then finally there's what's the most popular, I guess you could say, corporation, right?
Yeah.
Well-known corporation.
A brand, yeah.
Yeah. And this is I guess this is where it might not be today. The thing might not be there today, but it still goes down as one of the most popular.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think Iowa is?
Well, Iowa, that's a given. Maytag.
Yeah.
If you lived anywhere near Newton, you know that Maytag got its start in Iowa.
I found it interesting what it is in South Dakota.
Super 8.
Super 8.
Now, I was surprised about Kansas. I did not know that Garmin got its start in Kansas.
Now, Cabela's, that makes sense for Nebraska.
Yes, it got it started up near Kearney, I believe, not very far from here.
PV, now PV Sound Systems is that looks like that is Mississippi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Florida. What's Florida? What got it started in Florida, Dave?
It says Hooters in Florida.
Okay.
Crazy.
Obviously, Arkansas. This is what I was talking about earlier. Walmart in Arkansas.
Yeah. Best Western in Arizona.
Yep. Harley Davidson, Wisconsin.
Yes. Sinclair Gas, right? The gas station, Sinclair with a green dinosaur. That is in Utah. Yeah. Thanks for helping me there.
Yeah, no problem. Coke.
Taco John's.
Taco John's. Where's that? Wyoming?
Yep, Wyoming.
Coca-Cola in Georgia.
Starbucks in Washington.
Washington, of course. Yes.
Nike in Oregon.
Verizon in New York. Obviously, Hershey's Chocolate in Pennsylvania.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's just lots of interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Oh, Cat. Well, Cat, that's right there in Moline area.
Illinois, yeah.
Yeah. Are they still around?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. What's in Missouri, Dave?
I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
I don't either.
No, I have no clue.
It just has a logo. It doesn't have any words, so I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Well, that's some interesting facts. I think the best thing to do, Dave, when it comes to the 50 states, go experience it yourself.
Yeah. Get out there and drive. Yeah.
Or get on the YouTubes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And just look at top things to do. Visit, because it's fun. It is fun.
It is.
Just explore about the states and go around. And I don't know, when my dad and mom took me to Mount Rushmore, you went on that interstate that took us right along the Corn Palace and what was the other ones that were there? Corn Palace and
in Mitchell's
Wall Drug.
You have Wall Drug.
Yeah.
Then you have
that's real cool. Yeah. Really, really interesting stuff.
It is. See your country. It's a great, big, beautiful country. That's for sure.
Yeah. Lots to do in Iowa, more than just cornfields.
Yeah. Well, we want to thank Andy. We also want to thank all of our listeners for going on this ride with us. We hope you gained some helpful insight. And if you're listening to us and you don't have a relationship with Jesus, why don't you message us on our 2 Days Podcast Facebook page or Instagram, and we'd be happy to talk with you.
So don't forget to comment wherever you listen to this podcast. Help us increase our podcasting, and please pray for us so that we can increase our brain. We need all the help we can get. Hey, until next time, remember, this ain't tacos, but this is the 2 Daves podcast, and 2 Daves are always better than one.
See ya.
See ya.